So just about every time I go to a seminar, in between speakers or at the end of the seminar, people crowd around and they say to me, hey, Andy, so if you had to start over from scratch, what would you do? So now I understand what
you get that question too.
Yeah, right. I understand what this question is about. This is about somebody asking, hey, what is the most valuable thing that you focus on in your business? And invariably what happens is they start firing off these conditions. Right. So you have no email list, right?
That's a condition. No JV partners.
No JV partners. You have no product, right? That's always one that, you know, somebody in the back of the gathering throws out because, you know, it's like their first seminar.
And people have never heard of you.
They've never heard of Andy Jenkins. Right. And I'm like, not Andy Jenkins. Trust me, man. There are times when being not Andy Jenkins is better than being Andy Jenkins. So what invariably happens is I start telling them about this process called GDL, which stands for Get the Lead. Yeah, in this two-part episode, we're going to go over what Mike and I believe is one of the most valuable things that you can be doing in your business. What we like to do is be able to push a button and communicate with, our case, over 250,000 people on demand without paying for traffic or paying for clicks. And we're going to talk about how we acquire those people through a process of a funnel, creating opt-in pages, and our very specific strategies in order to acquire these people. This is going to be a comprehensive episode, so much so that we know that we're going to split it into two parts, one with our strategies and another one with actual examples for you to model.
So get your notepad ready and a pen and put the headphones on because this one's going to be good.
So it's all about building a list.
Get the lead.
Get the lead. Big list. Everybody wants a big list. And fine, you can have a big, making a big list is easy, but here's the deal. This is actually, I'm going to steal, because that never happens in this business. I'm going to steal a thought from our friend Frank Kern, you know, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Frank said if a big list was all that mattered, then spammers would be the richest people in the world.
Yeah, I can give you a big list right now. It's got phone numbers in it. It's called the white page.
Yeah, right.
How good is that going to do you without a relationship?
Well, that's a point. That's the point. And that's what we're talking about is our tip and trick is really designed very much to create the highest amount of response from the right people. I mean, you don't want people on your list that aren't going to react or going to react poorly to your offers. And in fact, just here's your first tip. Mike and I, every 90 days, go back and we look at our list and we look at people that haven't opened our message in 90 days. And what does that mean to us?
They're not engaged.
They don't care. Right. And we don't. It does cost us money to mail those people. Not a lot. I mean, it's like fractions of a penny, but still.
Well, in the thousands, it starts getting up there.
That's right.
Every day.
The first takeaway is only be engaging and communicating with people that you like. You can save a little bit of money, but more importantly, if you prune your list regularly, what happens is, this is allegedly what happens is, these internet service providers like the Gmail and the Yahoo and Comcast and Time Warner are so smart that they can actually detect, which sounds like a privacy issue to me, but you know, we live in America, the big brother, land of the big brother. They can actually detect that people are opening your messages, so your deliverability goes up.
Well, here's what they also know. There's a Yahoo address that signed up for your list in 2008. And it was, you know, Big Bob Smith at yahoo.com. But he's since moved to Gmail.
That's right.
But he hasn't logged into
Bob
Yahoo
Smith at yahoo.com.
in 3 years.
That's right.
So you're hitting an inbox that has not been logged in. That's a red flag. So not only do they say, well, we're no longer going to let you get to Bob Smith, all of Yahoo Mail is starting to look at this person as somebody that's not pruning their list, and it affects everything.
Absolutely. We've actually had people that have come to us and say that they've gotten rid of entire ISPs, like they've gotten rid of all of AOL. They don't mail to anybody on AOL. And we're not saying do that. We're just saying that this is how important pruning your list has been. But
we're getting a little off.
A little bit.
We're going to talk to you about getting the lead and, more importantly, a game plan behind it with a funnel. And wait till you see what we got, and we're going to take you to the boss vision right now.
That's right. So we're going to talk about the first thing that you need to do in order to get this person on your list, which is your opt-in pages. Now, there's two strategies here, folks. There is something that we call the lead magnet. Okay, the lead magnet is the bribe. Should we say ethical bribe, or you guys get it, right? It's an ethical bribe that will get somebody to give you your email address so they get on the list. This is Internet Marketing 101, I get it.
It's a trade. So let's just be real clear here.
Yes.
The higher the value for the customer, the better, the more likely somebody's going to be to opt in. So if you simply have something that says, please opt into my newsletter, what's in it for me?
That's where you get the 3% opt-in rate.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So takeaway here. This is all about their favorite radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? The more it's in it for them, the higher your conversions are going to be. So what you need to do is get a lead magnet to get that you can explain to them that makes them want it so bad that if they're the right targeted customer, they're going to give you their email address and their right email address.
So everybody's seen this before. This is you go to a squeeze page, and there's essentially an offer on this squeeze page that will allow you to have access to some sort of information that you probably want if you clicked through in exchange for your email message. So that's the lead magnet. That's the thing that they get. So Mike and I basically have 3 key steps to making sure that we are not only maximizing our ability to capture that person, we are also making sure that we are following up with them and maximizing revenue. Because here's something that, I do some personal consulting, and then of course I'm at seminars, and I'll ask this question, hey, how many of you are making an immediate offer the moment you capture a lead? Maybe not in a launch, but like for a typical funnel.
And maybe, a couple like this, and they're not even sure if they're, am I in the majority here or the minority? They're in the minority, but they should be in the majority.
They should
More people should be making offers.
There's something you and I've talked about, which is this concept called satisfy. So it's really like action momentum. So they've just opted in. Guess what? In my tests, I found that people are twice as likely to actually buy something from you if they've opted in just a few moments ago than they were if they came to that sales message directly. I mean, so in that way, I think it's pretty profound.
If you're a topic expert, there's a reason why they're at your site. People that are interested in something. You remember when you first took up golf?
Yes.
I guarantee, I don't even know, I've never asked you this. I guarantee that when you first hit a golf ball, went to a driving range, or did your first day at a golf course, within 1 week, you had a bag, an expensive set, a new putter, even though it came with a putter, 3 new drivers, gloves,
and I was looking to see how much a golf club membership was.
Right.
Yes,
and you probably even started watching the Golf Channel for a couple of days, right? I'm serious, because
it's like I'm getting outed here.
Yeah, there's an expression called buyers are like porcupines in heat, which means
what does that mean?
Gary Halbert said that it's the porcupine. Doesn't go in heat very, very often, but when it does, mating season is on.
Right.
So we have to understand something. When somebody is at your site, they're going to be more interested today than they will be in 3 years.
Right.
And most likely more interested today than they will be tomorrow.
Well, they've just taken action, right? And so that's the red flag.
Right.
They've raised their hand and say, I am interested in what you have to offer. Just because it's free doesn't mean that I'm not interested in what you have to buy.
Buying is exciting.
Yes.
It releases endorphins. It makes people excited. And here's proof that people like to buy. You and I go to Kickstarter every day. We're not marketed to. We go there because we want to buy stuff. We want good deals.
That's cool.
We go to Woot. We go to Amazon. Like, we have competitions with our friends who has more Amazon delivery.
Honestly, I thought I had them, but a good friend of ours has twice as many orders year to date to Amazon. But 300. I mean, there's something wrong. Anyway.
So, but you probably like us because you're entrepreneurs. So keep in mind, your customers at your site, they like an offer when it's done the right way. They're not offended because they're looking for information.
So the takeaway is, don't be afraid to sell.
Immediately after you promise something for free, right? So we're going to identify the frame of this lead magnet.
Here's what we do, right? So we identify the framing and the messaging of the lead magnet because that's critical. Listen, we pay for traffic. So for us, it's not just, well, we hope that person's list opts in or we hope they opt in our blog. No, we have to establish an ROI. If we're paying $1.50 or $2 a click, we got to know that we're either not in a hole or we're in an acceptable ROI for us to make money from that lead moving forward. The second thing is you want to choose.
Okay, go through these.
Yeah, choose the mechanics i.e., how are you going to get in the opt-in? Because there's not just one way.
You know, like these?
Yeah, we've got 5 or 6 that we generally rotate through. We always test, and
different products get different mechanics.
That's right. Not only different products, obviously different markets, but also different messaging. Meaning, there's a type of lead magnet you might give that will be more congruent with one mechanic than another one. And then step 3. This is really important. This is the after action offer, meaning after they've taken action.
For the lead magnet, the free promise.
That's
usually.
right. That's right. Maybe they don't buy. What are you going to do about that? Is that like a dead lead? No, no. We have a very specific structure, and you're going to like this because you can pretty much copy paste it about how you follow up with them. Not only the types of emails, like the type of structure and topic, but also when you change the offer, because we make 3 different types of offers during our email follow-up campaign. So this is going to be fun. This might be a long one. Might be a long one, but it'll be good.
Yep.
You ready? Ready? Let's just do one. Let's just do one right now.
In this video right here.
Boom. Step 1. Oh, look at that, boss vision. Identify framing and messaging.
So this is about the promise that the promise of the premise, the promise that you're giving them. But how do you frame this promise?
Yes.
Are you going to frame it in, I'm going to give you something that you shouldn't do. I'm going to give you something that you should do that will solve this problem. So we'll go through with the first one here, pain and pill.
Yes.
That one's pretty simple, but what does that mean?
Well, okay, so let's just presume that we don't have to presume. This is what we believe. And what I'll say is, because we've been doing this business together collectively and apart for about 22 years, ultimately this is the thing that has worked the best. People show up looking either in pain or looking for pleasure, and that pleasure will come from the relief of some sort of pain they're in.
Right, so let's say somebody has eczema. And they're scratching. There are different ways that you could treat that.
Yes.
One is with information, knowing what not to put on your skin, and 2 is with a lotion.
Information for what to put on your skin.
Right. So that could be the free thing that's given away. There's pain. Here's the solution. I'm going to give you a report on the foods that cause eczema and inflammation, and what you can do, what types of soap you should use and shouldn't use, and everything like that. And it's in this report. Somebody that's like really having a lot of pain and they're literally flaking at their desk.
Yep.
They're in pain and they need that solution.
Well, let's just make the distinction, though. It's not always physical pain. So I'll give you 2 examples where somebody's not in physical pain. Number 1 is weight loss, right? And so I've done a lot of work consulting in the weight loss industry, and let me tell you, it might not be physical pain, meaning they're not so morbidly obese that it hurts to be alive, but they are in 9 types of emotional and mental pain because of their condition. But then here's another one which people sometimes have a difficulty getting their head around, which is, what about the person that is all about abundance and acquisition and wants more and more and more? Like the dude that wants the Mercedes that doesn't have it, is he in pain? Well, if he can afford a Mercedes, maybe he's not in the kind of like financial pain we're accustomed to, but he doesn't have what he wants, so he's in pain.
Let's take a person with an iPad 64 gig or an iPhone 64 gig. You know, it's a good $600 product, but he's completely maxed out. He can't even take a picture. He's in pain. He's not in physical pain. He's in a pain that says, I need to know how I can manage my media better. What are these cloud storage programs, things like that. This is a type of pain that somebody is suffering with, whether it's personal or in their business or whatnot.
Right. Now, so in the next segment, we're going to get down to when it comes to framing a pain and pill lead magnet, why hardcore specificity is absolutely critical. So stick around, look for the next video, and we will continue down the path of what we believe is one of the most important things that you can do to build and sustain your business. We'll be right back.